This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, I am trying something a little bit different in my deck building. There are a few ways that you can build decks. Typically, I start with colors and an idea of a strategy or curve or specific interactions that I want to push. Do I want an aggro deck in blue? Do I want a mid-range deck in Abzan? Something like that. And then I add cards to it and I trim out all the ones that I don't think best exemplify that strategy or contribute to that strategy. And then when I get down to 60 cards, I'm usually left with a deck. But what you can do, if you want to, is you can start with a card. You can pick a card that you think is underplayed, underutilized, powerful, that mythic rare that you open that you want something to do with, and you can build a deck around it. And I might try more of that on the channel as the format is waiting for a refresh, just waiting for the new set to come out. Now it would be the time to explore things in a different way. And today we've built around Liliana DREADHORDE General. I said to myself, CGB, I am going to start this deck with 4 Liliana DREADHORDE General, and I'm not going to cut them. Lock it in. So what happens? What kind of a deck do you end up building around that many Liliana DREADHORDE Generals? That is the question. So this is the deck that I built. Some of you may recognize it if you've been with the channel for a long time. It's a slower rat control deck. So if I'm going to build around a 6 mana Planeswalker, I want to make sure that, first of all, I get to cast that Planeswalker. So we have 26 lands, 2 Blast Zone, 4 Castle Loch Thwain, 20 Swamp, and we have 4 Heraldic Banner. Now, that's the other thing. Liliana's best synergy is with creatures. Her most powerful mode, of course, is the -9, but you can't really expect to get that off very often. But the best passive is whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. So we want creatures in our deck to go with Liliana. Heraldic Banner makes those creatures better and lets us play creatures that otherwise would be 200 powered to be reasonable, like Burglar Rat and Yarok's Fenlurker. In fact, when you can have a curve that involves Burglar Rat or Yarok's Fenlurker into Heraldic Banner, into a powerful card like Cavalier of Night, it can stabilize a board really quickly. This card is pretty underrated and has been one of the strongest cards that black can put up against red decks if they can get it out early. If they have to wait till turn 5, Embercleave is too much. If they can get out sooner, well, it can be a very interesting card. 2 Massacre Girls can also come down, sweep up our Burglar Rats and such, and also wipe the board. So plenty of good reasons to ramp up to 5 mana with the Heraldic Banner. And that's why you see we play no 4-drops whatsoever in the curve. And then, of course, Liliana comes down, and when these little rat creatures and such start dying, we draw cards, and she has creatures out there to defend her. So that's the idea. Some other cards in the deck. Knight of the Ebon Legion gives us something to play early. It also gives us something to play for 1 mana off the banner. If we play banner on 3 and we drew a knight, we can pay 1 mana with the banner and play it so that we don't lose the turn. It is a place to stick all this extra mana if the game gets long and turn this into a very serious threat. You can get it back with Cavalier of Night later in the game so that it is much more dangerous. Other cards involve Plaguecrafter, which is good with the Burglar Rats, and also good with the Cavalier of Night because you can bring it back over and over. Murderous Rider because we're a black deck and we need to kill things. And then there's 2 Liliana's Triumph. I started out with 4 of these as well, but I didn't say I wouldn't cut them, and I of course did end up cutting them. An Edict effect, as this is known because of the card Diabolic Edict from long, long ago, that makes the opponent sacrifice a creature for 2 mana, is not great. If you are letting them sacrifice something that is cheaper than the cost of your edict, then you are getting negative tempo. Healer's Hawk, Fervent Champion, and the Spitter, and whatever else 1 mana aggro threats are out there. There are enough of them to keep Liliana's Triumph from being great. But this is a very solid card against Dream Trawler, if that should come up, and it's a solid card against Jeskai Fires. Making them sacrifice 1 of their Cavaliers at instant speed for just 2 mana isn't the worst, although this deck against Fires is kind of it's a show. Hopefully that worked. Anyway, new soundboard, new abilities. So that's the deck. It is by no means top tier, But if you're going to play a Liliana deck, I think it's a decent one. The other version that you can run is Aristocrats with Priest of the Forgotten Gods, really pushing the sacrifice theme. But I find that deck definitely doesn't need Liliana and is pretty well already established. So this one's a little bit off the radar, and it's good enough to win you a few games in regular play. So let's show it off. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's dive in. Oh, before we dive all the way in, this video has to include a shout out to a new patron, Death by Modern Jazz, who signed up for the bomb rare patron level. So this shout out's for you. This applause, we'll give you a round of applause. And a fist bump. So thank you for that. All right, Magic, go now. Yeah, we'll probably get mana screwed. But I have early plays and I have 30 mana sources in the deck total. So in theory, we should be okay. Okay. So, which shock would you like to use on this Knight of the Ebon Legion? None yet. Okay. Mono red. Again. Rimrock Knight. Okay. Cool. Let's attack first. Then we can Plaguecraft. And have a 3/2. If we keep their board clear, we're alright. I can't believe they discarded a Robber of the Rich and kept a Rimrock Knight. But I guess that's a clear sign they have an Embercleave. Annex is a problem. Let's take out the Annex. The opponent gets one token, just one. But it can't block. So we can attack here and grow the Knight of the Ebon Legion out of Bonecrusher Giant range. Land for Cavalier of Night can be really good. But this Liliana's Triumph is a lot worse now. And maybe that was a reason to play it last turn. Alright, here come the critters. Here comes... What do you think? Light up the stage. And light up the stage. Always nice. Double Runaway Steamkin. Seems fine. We get land screwed. Seems bad. But we can drop our opponent to 8. Their next turn is going to be epic. I guess if they just play the 2 Steamkins, it's not particularly epic. And we get to keep growing this and play a lifelinker. Alright. They have a Rimrock Knight or a Shock? Not a Shock. Must be another Rimrock Knight, although... I guess they didn't use it because they hit the land off of the light up the stage. But just something to keep in mind when they attack. At this point, we're pressuring them. Okay, land. No land. Everybody in. Let's try to kill them. We're coming for your face. The end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mono red never knows how to block. Oh, that's what that was. The vault. The mythical vault. Well, this hand has lands. It doesn't have a ramp spell, and it doesn't have a middle. But alas, that's, I think, what we sign up for. The deck does have 0 4-drops and just a couple of 3s. It is a lopsided one. Immediate scry to the bottom, okay. Okay, red blue flash. Take forever. Let's see what they've got for this rat. Nothing for the rat. And discarding what? Nothing, but gonna Bone Crush in response. Okay, to fairy down. Okay, it is Jeskai Fires then. Guess I lose. It's a very impossible deck for this deck to beat. But, I want this rat on the table. Trying to decide if I want to be more mana efficient and use Murderous Rider here. I guess I could draw another discard spell. We're going into their Fire's turn. Yeah, make them have it. They haven't had any scries or just this one, but no, they've got it. They always have it. Rigged. This game is the most rigged game. Still best game, because Magic. But Arena, most rigged version of it of all time. Hey, we did draw a double rat, so we do get to do this. That was why we played the Murderous Rider last turn. We're kind of rewarded here. Now we get to see what the opponent does directly off the top of the deck. You know, for the extra tilt. Bounce my Burglar Rat. Sure. Says go. I could kill the Teferi and play the other rat. The opponent, they must have 2 Cavaliers in hand. If I had a way to make them discard 2 cards, I would. The other play is Cavalier of Night, just to have it down, but the fact that I can take out a Cavalier is a big deal. Do this. Another Fires. Okay. Could also play this Murderous Rider, but I think that getting rid of Teferi is just cool. No more games. All right, they stalled on mana. Rigged. Anyway. I think we just play a Cavalier of Night for the beatdown now. Survives Clarions, gets back a rat if they kill it. But yeah, let's dial up the pressure. Okay, they found an Omen. They'll definitely be able to pull a land out of a hat now. And the Scry with the trigger on the stack. So they're going to dig 4 deep. They get to Scry 2, then they get to Scry 2 and draw a card, which is a cool ordering thing that you can do with Omen. They kept 1 on top. Fabled Passage, Cavalier of Gales. Here we go. Feel the beauty of the Cavalier life. Now would be a good time for a Liliana. I would take a Liliana, because the opponent's probably going to end up with 2 great creatures after this. Nope, just 1. And we do have a Liliana, but I don't need it. Like, my plan was to play this and wipe out 2 Cavaliers. Now I don't need to. So sacrifice our Burglar Rat, blow up this Cavalier of Gales. Our opponent gets all the shuffles and the scries, and they have a Fabled Passage, and yeah. Okay, 2 to the bottom. Well, that's fortunate. Down to 11. Our board does represent lethal with double pump on Fenlurker if the opponent doesn't put anything on the board, but I find that highly unlikely. There's a Sphinx. Okay, that's not the greatest. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Let's see if they want to attack me. I mean, again, I'm threatening lethal. Okay. Just 1. That's so bold, but I guess they're trying to set up a kill over 2 turns. So Cavalier has 2 cards in the... Oh, well, that doesn't quite kill them, though, because I need the mana to pump the Fenlurker. So I needed 1 more damage there. Almost got him. Almost got him. So they have 1 card in hand. we can get rid of it. Here's what I'll do. We'll play Liliana. Unfortunately for me, I'm going to lose the Liliana to the Cavalier Flame ability, but I still think that this play is fine. Maybe it's a little too bold, but it's fine. Opponent thinking about sacking this Fable passage to get 1 more damage, which, there you go. Did it. Trigger, 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 trigger. So we get to bring back the Fenlurker, get their card, which is one of the big reasons I want to do it. Just leave them empty-handed. They do have the upkeep Scry 2 on the castle, which probably ensures that they'll be able to hit a creature. If it's a Cavalier of Gales, they might be able to get 2 creatures, but if they hit a creature, the Liliana's Triumph or the Murderous Rider gets us through. We can attack for 7 if we hit a land off the top, and they have 1 creature, which is something we can Liliana's Triumph. They keep both. Well, that's probably a double creature. No? It's a Kenrith. But we didn't hit the land. Well, let's use the Triumph. Play you. Get him to 2. Not a lot of difference between 2 and 1. The biggest thing about 2 in this format is a shock land, but they don't need land. They've got fires. I also can't make myself sacrifice a creature, so if there were anything like sacrifice Cav to get back this to try to make a complicated lethal, the Triumph doesn't work that way. Only the opponent. Hey! It did come up. And we got him. This hand is fine, I think. I guess we'll find out. But this is kind of what we sign up for. Not a lot of synergy, just a bunch of disconnected cards that maybe they'll come together and do something cool. Again. Mono red. Again. Always on that turn 2 robber life too. I think we just want to get this played. Although we could play the Fenlurker, have it on the board. Maybe this doesn't attack, and the next turn we play the banner and it holds off robber. I'm sure they have land to spare, and I'll end up missing a land drop costing me the game. That's how it works, right? No attacks at all. That's one way to do it. I guess they're just setting up Embercleave for certain. Okay, maybe not. Are you telling me there's a chance? I think you're telling me there's a chance. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Then slash, slash, slash. I may as well take a chump block here. Alright, guys. Are you ready for a massacre? It's gonna make a lot of 1/1s that are gonna die. It's gonna be really classic. Bye. Bye. Girl says bye, girl. I have sound bites for that too, right? Is this the right one? Look out. That's not it at all. How about this one? Not bad. I was thinking more of a... Here we go. Oh god, you guys are gonna hate me. You're gonna hate the soundboard. Alright, so we want to play the rat. Let's also play the banner. Rimrock Knight. Okay. Well, let's start taking a chunk out of them. You know what I say? When the rim is rocking, don't bother knocking. Definitely take those trades right now. We've got the Triumph and we've got the Liliana herself. Let's step it up. So the only thing I'm afraid of here is an Embercleave. I don't need to attack here. I'll just play defense. Defend Liliana. Actually, my opponent doesn't even have the mana for that. I could have been more aggressive, but it's not even, it doesn't even really matter. Let's attack first. See how the opponent plays this. And then we're going to decimate all that they hold. All they hold dear. Kill that, draw a card. Sacrifice that, discard a card because we control Liliana.
Get out of my way.
Yes. Yes. Give it up. Nope. Nope, that's wrong. God, why am I so bad at these? There we go. You. This hand only has one cheap card, no serious interaction, and some really expensive cards. Gross. Do we have to mulligan a hand like this, or is Knight of the Ebon Legion going to carry the house? Let's give him a chance. I like to give my cards a chance. Besides, we're the Liliana deck. We have 2 Lilianas. How could we mulligan? Don't come to me for mulligan decisions. I swear there was a time in my life where I gave craps about mulligans. That time is gone. Alright. Heraldic Banner. Off the top. Alright, our opponent's playing Simic. Simic is really tough if they're ramp. If they're flash, at least we have Knight, which is one of the better cards against them. Got him. Are they flash? Maybe. They did nothing on turn 2 and held priority the whole time. No, they're not. They're some kind of a ramp deck. Okay. Yeah, that's a very bad matchup typically. Okay, they're Teamer Adventures. Probably not winnable, to be honest. But we will play. We will fight. Liliana will come down and make them work for it, darn it. Who knows, maybe they'll draw no clovers and no innkeepers. Maybe they're mono beanstalk giants. And lands. Okay, they missed a land drop, so these are all... Alright, they're probably going to escape to the wilds next turn, would be my guess. So, but we do have Knight and Cavalier and Liliana here. That's a lot of pressure. So we definitely want to get this on the board. We're not going to sacrifice anything, of course. We just want the 5/5 lifelinker. Start turning up the pressure and protect Liliana. Are you going to Brazen Borrow this? I mean, you could. Better that they use it now than later in the game when they have clovers. It's also a big reason not to use our Knight of the Ebon Legion. Alright, they hit a clover too. That's a perfect sequence for them. Being able to escape the wilds into a clover. On the bright side, they have to take some damage to do it. They're going to go down to 11. We could pump this up and deal a ton of damage. Put them at 3? The problem is I don't know how we deal the rest of the damage once we get them there. And they have a great henge. That might be coming down. I think we're better off getting Liliana going. I think a Liliana ultimate is the kind of thing that will really threaten them. And the card advantage might help us keep up.
Rise and shine.
Let's go, Lily. I built this deck around you. Come play Magic. We need the opponent not to draw more Brazen Borrowers. That's another thing that's for sure. Brazen Borrower bouncing Liliana and the token because of the Clover is busted. Wow, we've got a reader. Our opponent has never seen this card. Oh, man! I guess they just... Holy cow. What, were there too many decisions for you? What the heck was that? Sure. Snapkeep. We play a Fenlurker, we play a Plaguecrafter. Massacre Girl, Liliana. It's all there for the awesomeness. Oh no. Don't be Teamer Adventures. Don't be Teamer Adventures. Don't be Teamer Adventure. Ooh. Wait, I have a way to do that, right? Yes, I got it right this time. All right. I promise I'm not going to turn this into a soundboard show. I'm just enjoying my new toy. Disc Edgewall Innkeeper? Oh, dude. We are dead. Dead. 100% dead. Wow. Okay. Well, the Plaguecrafter doesn't do much good. We have to set up for the Massacre Girl instead. Let's play the Blast Zone. We're probably going to put a counter on it and hopefully blow up Clovers later. But we're threatening to pump Fenlurker so the opponent can't attack with these. Nope. Their hand is so freaking great, though. Double Innkeeper, Clover, Lovestruck Beast. So freaking great. Okay. Now what do we do? I think we hit the hand. We need to draw, what, land for Massacre Girl? They're going to get another really good adventure turn, but what can you do? I guess you just have to hope they don't quite have it. Okay, we got a Brazen Borrower. We knew we were going to hit something pretty good since the Fenlurker got an Edgewall Innkeeper. Now we have to hope that we get a land and can Massacre Girl this board. The 1/1s are attacking too? You monster. Alright. Lock here. Keep a rat because we need it for Massacre Girl to get all the way up to the Lovestruck Beast if the opponent doesn't play any more adventure creatures. Deep thoughts. Deep thoughts, my friends. Granted. Yeah. Hit that dubs. Double granted. Double tutor effect. Freaking nuts. Once in future? They want things back from the graveyard already. Makes sense a little bit. I can understand. When you don't know what to get, you get this card. You just get back more of the cards your opponent didn't like, especially when you're ahead. If we draw back-to-back lands, we can either Massacre Girl or Cavalier of Night the Innkeeper, which I guess doesn't solve the Lovestruck Beast, so we're looking at Massacre Girl. But then playing Liliana, maybe that can be a problem for them. Storm's Wrath? Okay. There's the land. On trade. It's interesting because if they did, it would actually make things pretty tough for me. Triggers. Slice and dice that beastie. Yeah, buddy. So the opponent could spend their turn on Storm's Wrath just for Massacre Girl. That would be kind of weird. Not particularly great either. They might just once in future back the Innkeeper right now. And they could get a Lovestruck Beast and make some tokens. At some point, I'm going to want to blast zone clover. I'd prefer to blast zone multiple clovers, though, since that's usually where the end game ends up, with multiple clovers on the field. Smart opponents won't play into that, but if they play Escape to the Wild, they sometimes don't have a choice. They'd have to exile their clover if they didn't play it. Uh-huh. Now, do they replay the Innkeeper here? They're gonna make the tokens. That makes sense. But what about this Innkeeper? Oh, they do. Okay, I can kill it. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. So if we plus this, it can't die to Storm's Wrath. If we minus it, it does. The opponent might Storm's Wrath their own Innkeeper. The other thing I could do is Cavalier of Night sacking my Massacre Girl to take out the Innkeeper, but this draws cards. Let's get set up to draw some frickin' cards. Now their Storm's Wrath pays me quite a bit. That's not good. When they get a big mana advantage, they can go over the top. Like, that's when the deck is really scary. We were hoping to dodge that. This and Escape to the Wilds are the cards that we sort of needed to avoid for a while. Alright, Lovestruck Beast. Survives the Storm's Wrath, so maybe that's what I need to kill with Cavalier. They have Wishes, yep. Okay, let's bring out the Cavalier of Night, sacrifice a zombie. Take out the Lovestruck Beast. Draw some card. I think we can start attacking with Massacre Girl. At least make the opponent respect her. See, if they attack with all these, the Storm's Wrath still can't get there on me. But yeah. We need some respect in here for Massacre Girl. Okay, now we're planning a Storm's Wrath. Interesting. Yeah, the opponent's planning to sweep or something. So I want this to die. Or do I want this to die? I only get one. Let's do all these. It makes Plaguecrafter a lot better. And who knows? We might draw Liliana's Triumph. We didn't, but we might have. So I'm curious what the plan is. Storm's Wrath doesn't kill Liliana or the Cavalier of Night right now. Do they have a way to double it? Okay. Not the play of somebody who plans to sweep the board. Dubs Clover. Sure. This is getting to be a really good board for the Blast Zone. Storm's Wrath. This is weird. Whatever their plan is. Like, what's going on? Do they have a Bone Crusher Giant? Oh, they do. Okay, sure. Sure. Well, goodbye to Liliana, unfortunately. She worked hard. She definitely helped a lot. So that Nissa's on 1, right? Get the Fenlurker back. Get their card. An innkeeper, cool. Okay, you're on 2. So that's a pump, and then this can kill the clovers. Pretty good. Down goes the Nissa. Destroy the clovers. Let's do it now. Your turn. Sequencing crucial there. Don't blow up your own Fen Lurker before you kill their Nissa, kids. Find yourself very sad. Alright, that's a very large Beanstalk Giant. I'd love for Cavalier of Night to handle that. This Plague Crafter, though, can't come down and stay. This is 5, 6, 7. So this is 8. So we have to go with Plague Crafter. They'll sacrifice the Stomping Ground. We can play a Cavalier of Night, get back the Plague Crafter when it dies. But if the opponent has another thing to sacrifice, that's pretty bad for us. So I think what we want to do is play Massacre Girl. And then Plague Crafter. And that's 1, 2, 3. No, that doesn't do it. What is the play? I need this and a creature to sacrifice, which I just can't quite do. So I guess for the turn, we'll play this Plague Crafter. Do everything we can this turn. Maybe we just take a hit, but I think we just want the Massacre Girl on the field. Then we can sack it to Cavalier of Night next turn. If we don't draw another creature, of course. Drawing a rat would be really nice. Oh man, they drew another giant creature. We're going to have to draw plenty of removal spells. We have a lot of Murderous Riders to go, though. I'm going to play another giant this turn, too, I think. Drawing Liliana would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let's take this hit. The opponent probably plays this giant. Yep. Another Cavalier of Night. That can be a chain. So let's... Oh, we should have attacked with Massacre Girl. It had Menace. I was going to say we don't want to trade, but we would have gotten through for free. You won't make that mistake, though. You guys are all super capable magicians. So don't worry about me. Good Cavalier of Night trying to carry the team here. Trying so hard. Okay. We can draw a card, or we can... We really, you guys want to draw another thing to sacrifice to this Cavalier. We don't want to sacrifice a Cavalier to a Cavalier very much. I'm going to do it. I'm taking this draw. Wow. That did not work out. Alas, it will be okay. So here's Cavalier of Night. If our opponent had a Brazen Borrow, they would have used it, right? They're playing like they have Brazen Borrower. But they would have used it. They would have been able to get him 4 more damage. Now I'm the one confused. Okay, that's fine though. Now I just replay this. That didn't really accomplish much. Sacrifice this. Trigger. Get back the Plague Crafter. Target here. Then bring back Crafter. Take out Bone Crusher Giant. Can also sacrifice this, but I want to keep the Lifelinker. Lifelinker to counter race the Flyer. Please don't draw something to block or remove my Cavalier. Please don't. I have fought so hard. Uh-oh. That's Nissa, right? No, they're tapping the forest. That's Fae of Wishes. Oof. And that's game. That card I drew off the castle was the crucial mistake. The crucial error. I thought we could have taken that game, but I flooded out and they drew clutch cards. Welcome back to the music. Try that again. Welcome back to the fireside chat at the end. The deck is definitely, for me, a more fun version of Mono Black than the Devotion builds that try to dump their hand and do stuff with Gray Merchant. This one, it can play offense, it can play defense. There are a good amount of choices. It is clunky. It needs, honestly, it needs a card like Light Up the Stage. It needs like black, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, seeing something blood, anyway. That was a card once. I just can't remember the name right now. So you guys will post it in the comments, won't you? I just won't be complete until somebody posts in the comments what that card is that I'm forgetting about. But yeah, it needs a little way to make sure that it hits land drops in the mid game, because every missed land drop, it feels it so much. And I'm running 26 and 4 banners. Half of what I draw should make mana, but that's not the way the shuffler does it. Not how random works, some of you smarty pantses would say. Anyway, still very fun. I think the rats are the unsung heroes of the deck. This is not a discard deck per se, but the ability of the rats to get 2-for-1s at a very cheap cost and then turn themselves back into actual cards, either because of Cavalier of Night, Liliana, or just Heraldic Banner, giving them an extra point of power and toughness, is very useful. So I wouldn't cut them. I think the cards that are most up for cut, Plaguecrafter and Liliana's Triumph, they fluctuate in their usefulness, and spot removal spells might be better. Knight of the Ebon Legion fluctuates in its usefulness. This card was pretty important against Simic Flash, and it's okay against just all kinds of Simic where it's not going to get removed. But most of the time, this is a hard card to put mana into, and it dies pretty easily. So this card might be the trim if you're looking for something to try. I'd still want 1 or 2 in the deck because Cavalier of Night needs something to get back in the mid to late game. And when this comes back in the late game, it can be a crucial threat. So yeah, still worth checking out. Blast Zone was a pretty good card too, but I don't think you want more than 2. You need to be able to play your spells. So yeah, play around with it. See what you like. Build a sideboard. If you want best of 3 and you want to play this for best of 3, build a sideboard for it. Post in the comments. People ask me for that all the time. Honestly, I play a deck for a day and I move on to the next deck. That's why you get a different deck every day. Seems really obvious when you think about it, but people don't think about it, and they ask me like, hey, remember that deck from 3 months ago? Like, what have you changed to it? What's your list look like now? It's like, I haven't touched that deck from 3 months ago. I've been playing a different deck every day. So yeah, it's up to you guys. This is yours now. Go out there, build a sideboard for it. If you want best of 3, tune it. If you want it in best of 1, play it. Leave comments. Let me know how it goes. Post lists and updates in Discord. There's a link in the description. Also, here at the end, I know I'm rambling a little, but I don't give enough attention to the YouTube members. I don't call enough attention to it. I talk about Patreon and Twitch subs a lot, but some of you have signed up on YouTube, and I want to give you the recognition you deserve. So I'm just going to read a quick list of names. Don't mind me. Der Lurgoif, The Lurker. I'm going to keep some of these very simple. The Lurker from Below, Anti-Vermin, Physics Man, Double Thomas, David, Andre, John, Jason, Leon, Skuro, Martin, Alex, Quan, Kaiser, George, William, Fernando, Joseph, Jesse, Julian, Aaron, Gosef Nut, and Chamu. Thank you guys. Oh, and one more, Derek. Thank you. Thank you guys for signing up for YouTube memberships. You get 1 bonus video a month, and it supports the channel, and you can hit the join button right below this video if you are interested in joining the list. To my members, this Godzilla roar is for you. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.